us were worried about the threat of having our faces melted off in a wave of nuclear heat, the media were distracted by the news cycle's latest shiny, sweaty object, Republican congressman and first guy to get whacked in every mafia movie, Devin Nunes. Yes, the infamous memo was released. None of the revelations in the 3.5-page document were that shocking, but this kind of was.
Washington Post reported this morning that the president was left alone with the memo for several hours so he could read it.
Left alone with the memo for several hours? Then I assume he paid that memo $130,000, and no one but Donald and the memo will ever know what happened in that room. I'm saying Donald Trump fucked the memo, had the memo spank him with a smaller version of the memo, and he's afraid of sharks, hashtag Trump can't read. Fortunately, the response to the memo has been restrained.
Breaking right now, the highly classified FISA abuse memo has now been released, and it is absolutely shocking. It is stunning. Now, this now is the biggest abuse of power corruption case in American history.
You heard it here. This scandal is bigger than 100 Bill Clintons having sex with 1,000 Watergates and 1 million Area 51s. Or as non-Trump supporters put it,
we all agree there's nothing to this memo. It is just a nothing, nothing, nothing.
Coincidentally, nothing, nothing, nothing was also Don Jr.'s childhood nickname. The president, however, was totally satisfied that the memo he definitely read said what he wished it did.
Talking about the Nunes Memo on Saturday, the president tweeted, quote, "This memo totally vindicates Trump and probe."
Totally vindicates Trump? Why did you put your own name in quotation marks? Is Trump just a fun character you've been doing the whole time? Are you played by Andy Serkis? He's usually better than this. But whether you're pro-memo or a normal person, Rabbit transformed into a man, Devin Nunes isn't done riling you up.
Are there other memos? You said this was phase one.
Yeah, so this completes just the FISA abuse portion of our investigation. We are in the middle of what I call phase 2 of our investigation.
Yes, Nunes may release up to 5 more memos. So get ready for a Nunes State Department memo, a Hillary Clinton memo, Nunes Memo Tokyo Drift, Memo versus Predator, and for the kids, Nunes Memo the Squeak Wall. The weirdest part of this, Fox News' sudden rage against the man.
After the election, an alleged cabal of senior FBI people organized to disrupt the Trump presidency from within the government.
A bunch of virulently anti-Trump officials at the FBI.
Corruption at the highest levels of the FBI and that secret society.
A corrupt and out-of-control FBI.
The deep state is in full control over there.
An American citizen is having his civil liberties violated.
This is the worst period in the history of the Bureau, much worse than the late Hoover period when they were spying on domestic groups.
I haven't heard Fox News be this anti-law enforcement since they had to grapple with the mysteries of Laura. A lady cop? The city can't afford to paint all those guns pink. But you know what? I'm glad you guys got woke. If you're suddenly concerned about the FBI spying on American citizens, you are gonna be outraged to learn that it's not just Putin's superfans like Carter Page, they also spy on other Americans, like Christopher Daniels. Daniels has been in federal custody since December, charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. He wasn't allowed to own a gun because of a misdemeanor domestic violence conviction, a law that police enforce about as often as they give the death penalty for jaywalking. Now, I don't want domestic abusers to have guns. I don't even want them to have utensils. Eat that soup with your fingers, Brandon, and think about what you did. But that is not why they went after Daniels. He was reportedly the FBI's first arrest under its brand new terror threat designation, Black Identity Extremist. Daniels popped up on the FBI's radar because he was in an anti-police brutality demonstration video that ended up on InfoWars. And yes, there are people in the video saying reprehensible things about cops. But as long as they're not specific threats, our First Amendment protects people who say horrible things. That's why I can say the president fucked a memo, but I can't say I'm gonna fuck the president with a memo, and I never would. The reason they are able to target people just for screaming is because the FBI is increasingly concerned about black identity extremism.
Well, the FBI says black extremists are motivated to target law enforcement officers.
The FBI report classifies black identity extremists as those who feel oppressed and respond with violence.
Feeling oppressed and responding with violence doesn't make you a terrorist, it makes you an Eagles fan. So what is a black identity extremist and why is the FBI targeting them? No one is quite sure, least of all, the people in charge of the FBI.
I would like to ask Mr. Chair unanimous consent to enter this report into the record, which is black identity extremists likely motivated to target law enforcement officers. Who had the power in your department to order a report like this?
I'm not sure how that report got ordered.
So could you tell me what that term means to you?
Well, I'd be interested to see the conclusions of that report.
I did farm out a whole number of follow-up questions to people. I will confess that I've been fairly busy lately and have not yet gotten the results of those.
FBI Director Wray probably has been too busy. Goodbye parties aren't going to host themselves. The black identity extremist label gives law enforcement an excuse to surveil communities that are protesting them. Surveilling Americans because of their free speech is dangerous and wrong. Unless that American is Gwyneth Paltrow and that speech is telling people to hotbox their vaginas. FBI, feel free to wiretap that shit. So, to recap, the FBI is criminalizing being black and angry, chilling free speech, and ignoring reasonable requests for information from black congresswomen. Hey guys, tell me again how the FBI is an organization of left-wing Hillary Clinton-loving hippies, because it sounds to me like they fit right into the Trump administration. We'll be right back.